Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's AttackonSamurott, bringing you all some Pokemon RBY friendlies. So it's been a while since I did my last RBY friendlies, and I actually have a very special guest. Now, this guy, I'm gonna introduce you all is actually the first guy that got me into RBY. Like, I remember playing on the ladder for the first time in RBY, and I ran into this guy, and he was just like, "Oh, that's a cool Parasect." And I was just like, thanks, man." It's actually, no, it was the Nidoking team. It was the Nidoking and Nidoqueen team I used against him, and he brought a Parasect on for RBY LU. I mean, not for like RBY UU or NU, but at the time I was getting into RBY OU. But I met him on ladder, and played him. I lost to him, and then he decided to teach me. So let me introduce you to the RBY master, Shellnuts.
Hello. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like talking to you. I met you on ladder after like a 3-game losing streak after my Snorlax got frozen like 3 games in a row or something like that.
It might have been that.
And you
I'm
were
not.
like, "Why is Body Slam not paralyzing Chansey with Ninetales?" And I'm like, "It doesn't paralyze normal." I think I remember that.
um, yeah, no,
That was
but like,
that was good.
yeah, it was. That was like, it felt like. Why did it feel like it was 2 years ago when it was just last year? Jeez. Um,
Yeah, time flies.
it does, especially in these times. But yeah, we're
Yep.
gonna be playing some RBY NU, and I did some NU last time with Pack, so I decided, Shellnuts likes NU as well, so I decided, hey, may as well do some more NU. I promise that we'll be doing some. I promise Shellnuts that we'll be doing a UU session soon. So we will do that at a later point, but right now I really want to play some NU, and I know Shells is hyped for playing NU as well, and he loves talking about NU. My guy loves talking about UU and NU mostly, but but
I mean,
yeah.
I kind of helped make this tier, so.
But yeah,
But
I hope
yeah.
you guys are excited for this one. If you guys are, please make sure to leave a like and comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts on RBY NU and RBY UU. Currently there is a tournament going on called RBY Premier League or RBY
This is
PL.
the second iteration, I think.
Oh, okay, and this is the second iteration
RBY
of it.
PL2.
Okay. But yeah, like there's like other competitive RBY players there that are, playing around in OU, RU, or not RU, sorry. OU, UU, and NU. So yeah, a
Ubers as
lot of.
well.
Oh, and Ubers. Okay, and Ubers as
Yeah.
well. So if you guys want to check out the coverage for that, I'll leave the link down in the descriptiones. And yeah, if you're new to the channel and watch this for the first time, feel free to subscribe. On my way to reaching 450 subs, so let's get there. And yeah, so Shells, how many games you want to do?
I'm open for a couple.
Okay,
Like 3 or 5, I guess.
okay, we can do a best
Yeah,
of five.
yeah. Yeah. Like you can listen to a lot of my thoughts on tier. I've been playing this since the tier was initially created, um, and was like initially being played while we were still deciding the UU and U border,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can listen to my knowledge of the history of it.
All right.
It's been a very interesting history just because of how much has changed in the tier.
Right, like I remember, I think it was earlier last year where you guys were just starting to you know,
Play and
build
you.
up RBY NU.
Yeah, yeah. Like what happened was I think I don't remember who it was. It might have been Enigami saying, "Hey, well, a lot of the UU viability is decided. Um, why not try figuring out what's the viability for stuff in like let's try building NU."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so specifically, I remember and initially there was like at least for those, excuse me, there was a lot of discussion uh around like stuff like Moltres being really good, um, and uh, Venusaur was in there initially. Golduck was in there initially. I'll go on more on Golduck, and so and it was very interesting because, well, it was so new and a lot of people were really trying out new things.
Mm-hmm.
And very quickly, Venusaur really put itself as a staple. Venusaur was before it rose to U. It was there for a long time. Um, and initially Moltres was seen as probably like the most dominant Pokemon because it's like it's got 600 base stat total. Everything else is like 500 or something. And we were like, yeah, this is going to just utterly destroy the tier. Um, and
But so
initially we
far
thought
it
it'd be
hasn't.
ban worthy.
Yeah, but so far
Yeah,
not that much.
yeah. What happened was players started Mr. Mime really put itself at the forefront because it was really dangerous sweeper. Um, and Moltres was seen as really dangerous and very strong. Players then started running fires, specifically Arcanine, and also Kabutops as well to answer it. Also, Blastoise was in the tier, and it was the time when all 3 stars were viable. So that was really fun. It
Yeah,
basically is like the ultimate childhood tier.
pretty
Like every
much.
kid is like, I want to run all 3 starters and become the world champion. That's
That's basically what it was.
yeah. Um, and very quickly, what ended up happening was Golduck. Then we realized, wait, Golduck is kind of its best answer is itself, because the tier at the time was very much so centered around being bulky, and so a lot of stuff was using rest, and so and Golduck could get in, and it was being used while people considered Moltres dominant, but it wasn't as considered as problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then we were like, you can just come in on rest, and Venusaur doesn't switch into it because it's outsped and it just dies to Ice Beam. So you have to basically either win a 50-50, whether or not it's going to use. You can't go in with Venusaur if it's at healthy, so you can only answer with your own Golduck. Things consistently, and so then you end up in Duck Wars, where it's whoever wins the Golduck Ditto wins, and once they're forced to rest, and trying to force it to rest, because Venusaur doesn't kill it in one hit with Razor Leaf, it takes 2. That means any sorry,
So
any
fun.
attacks. Sorry, it's fine. Any attacks that you have to come in on the turn it rests in order to handle it. Because if you're staying in for, if you like switch, if it rests, then the turn after you switch Venusaur in, then you Razor Leaf, it's going to wake up and it outspeeds and OHKOs you with Ice Beam. And so you basically had to rely on a 50-50 read to actually take down, getting in Venusaur on rest in order to force it out or win the Freeze War.
Jeez.
And that was basically, it's either you win the Freeze War with your own Golduck or you do that. And so it's like, I believe I was like, maybe we can try and run Seadra to try and like toxic it, because I can switch it in on the same turn it comes in, use toxic, and while it tries to while it starts amnesiaing, and then I can rest up and I can force it to do to go to use rest and try and win the 50-50, but it's like, it's Seadra, it's kind of bad against everything else. And then it's like, oh, maybe I can run and then they're like, oh, maybe Poly Whirl, maybe I can run that to try and to try and like give myself extra odds of winning the Freeze War. It's like, no, it was really dumb. And very quickly we realized this is kind of terrible. It's, imagine Uber's Mewtwo but worse, because you have no good actual switch-ins, and you basically are relying on winning a coin toss to actually force it out so you can continue to play the game. And
Oh
it
shoot.
was very dumb. So we banned it for very good reasons. And then right after that, I believe, it was the Spotlight ladder, and as a Spotlight, like Earthworm was playing it, Hitmonlee was playing it, and it was a really fun tournament. Stuff like Porygon was being used, and we were like, this actually walls a ton of stuff. Nidoking was used because Nidoking, it's got really good coverage and it
Mm-hmm.
hits very hard. Like this was the tier where you, again, all like 3 stars were viable, and it was definitely probably one of the more fun tiers. I think RBY's I can think of in RBY, because it was really diverse in terms of like what was viable. And I can't really think of many things that couldn't succeed in the tier. and it was very fun, and in some ways I do miss that, but I do. But then what happened after the spotlight ladder ended? For NU, it was a staff pick, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then for UU, there was a ladder, there was a tournament in December for UU. Um, and that's when I believe Volk started running Venusaur in UU. Because to preface this, earlier, like I think like a month or two earlier, I was trying out. I realized I can really do a ton with on offense with Tangela because I had very old team with Haunter and Haunter, Kangaskhan, and Articuno.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it was definitely good, but it was very very bad against Doug Trio, and so I basically had to win 50-50s to bring in my Kangaskhan just to handle their Doug Trio, and it's like that's not great. And so um I realized, wait, Tangela is really stable against Doug Trio because it's bulky, and it has a bunch of other utility against other normal types, specifically Persian and Kangaskhan, because it can paralyze them and it can sleep stuff, and it's got the ability to switch around with bind and pivot in stuff. So like I can get in my Kangaskhan on something and win the game with it, or sorry, get some kills with it, and that really became. And so I started running that, and they took that idea and said, I like this, but however, I want something that's more aggressive because Tangela is fairly passive.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started running Venusaur on that, and they did really well. And Venusaur then ended up rising to UU because of that, and that really changed the tier a lot. I think in that same update, uh, Raichu and Poliwrath dropped down because they really weren't that great in UU, and they still kind of aren't in my eyes. Like they've got sort of some things to work with, but like Raichu kind of tries to do two things and it's not good at either of them. So and then we had the Raichu and Poliwrath meta,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not great.
Yeah, I
It
remember
was a
you.
hit.
I remember you
Yeah,
mentioning that in our like chats before, saying about how Polyrath with Amnesia just kind of sweeps everything in the meta, and Raichu is
it's
just
not that it sweeps everything because you can out offense it, but
mm-hmm.
because you couldn't run rest, it means that you had no way defensive to play around um stuff. So for example, against like let's say I don't know like uh Firo, for example, or let's say Raichu,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't run rest and risk letting it in because you already had Poliwhirl, who is actually like already has an obnoxiously high base 90 speed tier, uh, and so it's already putting stuff to sleep with hypnosis and then amnesia boosting, and it can get really annoying.
Right.
Um, and what ends up happening is it's like, okay, now you have to deal with this, and you kind of have to cover it, and you can't let it get offense. It was not fun.
Mm.
Um, and so very um, and so what happened was we decided to ban Poliwrath because it was the one that was kind of preventing teams from building like solid defensive cores
Mm-hmm.
long term. Uh, but that, however, Raichu is still Raichu is still hit so hard, and it basically had no answers, um, and it kind of was a bit obnoxious to play around,
Mm-hmm.
and it made the tier very crit centric. So like it kind of felt like the stereotype of, oh, it's a hacks tier, that's all Gen 1 ever is. It's like this actually felt like hacks tier, and it was
Jeez.
not fun.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you think about how fast Raichu is in general, like that thing really just, kind of takes advantage of stuff, really.
Oh yeah, and it just like it hits so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like one crit and it kind of sort of just like snowballs from there because you can't you have like if it's maybe you can try and paralyze it and try and take it out with Golem, but it's like you're probably trading something for that, and if it crits you as you do that, yeah, not great.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, any more thoughts?
Yeah. So we banned Raichu, and this brought us to the meta we are at today. Where now a lot of it's sort of initially started being very fire spam being very more so bulkier. I believe my Blastoise Arcanine team, I think, or something similar to what I'm running in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Really took off. And it was very good. Then fire spam rose up. Nidoking's incredible. Golem's doing very well. I I think something that's been said is dropping to NU is the best thing that has happened to Golem in Gen 1, and I think that holds true. Because it's very strong here. It's Earthquake, Explosion. It's very good.
Yeah, it's one of the best fire checks in the meta. Actually, the
Well,
best
not
fire
just that,
check.
it just hits hard. You know, other fires also kind of answer it, and also you've got Blastoise.
Right, that's true. But it's
But
definitely the one that can
hits so
pressure.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, it's Earthquake. Like it does so much. Like,
Yeah,
it just drops things.
it's quite powerful indeed. I definitely I think what really got me interested though with NU, not just through you shells, but also through like I think through watching other games and even playing in a tour as well. Like I think there's a lot of creativity in this metagame that makes it very, very fun. Again, there's just so much room for there's so many like mods you can use that you wouldn't expect it would actually have some viability to it. Like Abra, for example. Abra is like
First time
one.
fire types are actually worth using.
Mm-hmm, and that too, because like
Yeah. Like fire.
No, go ahead.
Execute's just sitting here like this is fine while the fire is burning around.
Practically, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really cool to see mons like Clefable and again the fires actually having usage. Like it's just really nice to see.
Well, like it's because partially it's because it's very new.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's obviously unexplored, and so that definitely does help tend to it. But the thing is though, at least throughout it's a lot of the time it's been always much more so less centralized, I'd say, because like yeah, Mr. Mime and Blastoise right now are like really really good.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of variety in terms of how you use them. Well, not like for example, do you use Mime as a wall breaker or is it a revenge killer? What are you going to lead? How are you going to play around Charizard? Are you going to what are you going to use as your wall breakers? What are you going to supplement your Blastoise as your defensive core with? And there's a lot of options in that aspect.
Exactly. And another thing to note is that I know you mentioned before while we were talking that there's like different kind of again cores you can make. Like it doesn't have to like your team doesn't have to be a bulky offense. It could be like it could be a straight up offense. I don't think stall's really a thing. I haven't seen that yet, but maybe you have at some point.
I haven't seen it yet. Because the thing is, like, maybe you could try Toxic and like Fire Spin, but it's like with so many things running Rest, it's kind of But
yeah,
like, yeah, stall doesn't really work in Gen 1 because you don't have hazards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like poison damage is probably the best you have, but it's like it's poison damage. It's everything run Rest. It's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, pretty much you can make like bulky offense teams or even just straight up offensive teams. Again, like the one I have here is more, I guess, more offensively centered compared to yours, which is more like defensively oriented. With again the double fire plus Blastoise core.
Yeah.
But again, it still has like offensive pressure still with like Kingler and Mime as well, and again the fires to count as well. Because I mean, like they're good defensively, but they're also good offensively as well.
Yeah. Charizard's just ridiculously good offensively. Moltres is a walking delete button.
Pretty much.
Like it's just like control A, control D, or control.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, it can also take hits really well too on the special side, since this spawn has really good special.
I mean, like it's got 600 base stat total. It's like what did you expect? Like, it's like, of course it's going to hit that hard. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, truly. Well, I'm kind of in some trouble here because like I kind of just, I mean, Clefable going down isn't that big of a deal for me. It's honestly okay. I can probably still handle whatever the rest of these that are left, but I don't know if I want you to have my Nidoking.
Yeah, Nidoking kind of hits. Yeah, like it's really interesting because like poison is such a bad typing in Gen 1, but
Mm-hmm.
there always is like a few poison types in every tier that seem to be like really good.
Yeah. Again.
They're like decent. Like OU, it's like Gengar is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Victory Bell was good for a while, then it just stopped existing because it's
Yep.
well bad because Sing Chansey kind of just deletes it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a matchup fish for people running Starmie, Rhydon, and Big Four with Egg and like nothing else. And so it's kind of like yeah.
But then like
So
you have Tentacruel and Yu
Ten-
and and
Tentacruel is
mm-hmm.
the God Emperor of UU.
Right.
Is basically GSC Snorlax but for UU.
Man, I know we're gonna do
Actually,
that Yu
probably
vid though.
more apt.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'd probably say it's more apt to actually say more so like advanced Tyranitar in the sense of how it shapes the meta around it.
That's a really interesting take. Now you've caught my curiosity about Tentacruel even more.
Well,
Like
because like
comparing
Wrap
it
is
to
so
T-Tar,
fundamental to how the tier is played
right?
with because it is how offense works and how defensive play works because it's so fundamental because getting that safe switch in with so many strong attackers like Articuno um and such that you really can't afford to like uh that you really can't afford to like take that many hits. Like you can try and run bulky teams, but it tends to be harder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so being able to play around that is just massive.
Mm.
And like because you can bring in your defensive threats or your offensive threats
Mm-hmm.
without taking a hit because of Wrap immobilizing them for
Right.
that one extra turn as you switch. And that means, let's say your Persian is getting off that extra attack, and or your Hypno is not switching into a Seismic Toss, and so that means it can threaten with paralysis and rest up, let's say, and it isn't and or let's that's with the Persian analogy, your Persian can take that hit from Articuno later, which otherwise would have lost, and you will win the game. Otherwise, you lose, and it is so fundamental to how the tier is played. The ability to do chip damage against slower threats is massive. Its ability to let you play around many slow, strong attackers like Kangaskhan and Articuno and Dragonite, if with smart play and by double switching it in, and Hypno as well. Uh, and Venusaur, and that really makes it so fundamental to how the tier plays because it shapes how momentum is like executed in the tier. Period.
Jeez, yeah, Tentacruel is quite the mon indeed. That wrap
And
chip
so
is
that's why I'd
still
say the
mhm.
Tyranitar analogy because of well how much sand shapes advance.
Right. That makes a lot of sense now. Now that you actually break it down like that, rap does seem very fundamental to it. Again, I mentioned already at the beginning of the video that I will do a vid with shells on RBY UU. So again, like you can tell he's excited about it, but we definitely will be doing another vid. I promise you. Um, Now I got to figure out how to get around this because these three are definitely problematic. You don't know what my last one is yet, do you?
I have some ideas.
Okay, what are you thinking?
If I had to guess, probably like either Golem or a Fire. I'd say,
Okay,
meaning Moltres.
okay, that's
I'm guessing.
fair. That's fair. Um, let's see. Oh, okay, this worked out. Okay, this is fine. I'll take this. This is okay. Um, it's fine. Okay. All right. Last time to guess. What you think the last one is?
I'm guessing potentially. I'm gonna go lean Moltres now. I think.
It's close.
Oh, close.
um.
Zard.
Yep. The one of the second. I'm not gonna say second best. I'm not gonna say that. Honestly,
Mine's kind
I
of
couldn't
insane.
really like I don't know if I could really give a ranking for like the NU mons because I mean like I'm not I play RBY NU but I don't play it like as much as you so I guess if I
Yeah.
had to make go ahead.
Yeah. Zard is definitely very good, but I don't like how little it does defensively.
Oh yeah,
I
like
really like it's like it can at times it can feel like it's not able to take any hits at all,
mm-hmm.
and that can really put a damper on it for me in many cases.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I really that's great.
Oh, sorry.
It happens.
Yeah, I die. All right, Zard, do your thing. There you go. And this should drop. There you go.
Oh, crit. That
Oh.
works.
Wait, did that crit actually matter? I think you still dropped anyway. Like, Kingler doesn't have really good special, so... Well, actually, wait, I'm wrong. Hold on.
It mattered.
Oh, okay, it did? Oh,
Yeah, because like, I mean, because like Crab Hammer does a ton,
right.
and if it missed potentially, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, happens.
It
I
is
was
what it
kind of
is.
just, yeah, I was mainly just talking with the entire game and it wasn't even paying attention. I was kind of doing that the entire game and just like trying to remember the entire history of the tier. Yeah.
But nah, again, like Shells is like a whole encyclopedia when it comes to the knowledge of RBY. Really, like it's actually fascinating every time he talks about it. Um, all right, game two.
Sure.
All
I'm
right,
gonna quickly see if I can get a team that I know I remember building. I think where was the team I was building? Gotta find it on my builder. Um, team builder, please. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the team.
it's fine. It's fine. Take your time.
Okay, I found it.
All right, cool,
Thanks.
cool, cool. So I know. So we were just talking about mons that have risen from NU back into UU. But like, do you see any potential mon rising back into UU at some point, like during this meta or throughout the process of this meta, or no?
I'm not sure because a lot of what really made like the stuff really work or not work in UU
Mm-hmm.
is because of whether or not they can really find a way to get value given value out given how strong the tier is. And
Right.
it's very against fires. Blastoise is kind of outclassed by Vaporeon, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
really see that rising. Mime is outclassed by Kadabra and Hypno. Um, and so I really don't see that rising. Nidoking, you've got Kangaskhan and you've got stronger attackers. Moltres is flat out outclassed by Articuno, so kind of no reasons there.
Right.
Golem just like the entire tier is outspeeds it and either 2 it KOs it or OKOs it. It's like why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just kind of just
Eh,
there sitting, just
like
dying. Yeah.
yes, it can work against like if you're like really hard in on paralyzing the entire enemy team, but like that's not that easy in the tier when everyone's so paranoid about letting stuff eat paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that it's probably better to run just like I don't know, like Kangaskhan or something that doesn't rely on paralysis to get kills and can actually just like straight up OHKO things and just like win games off of that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. I think NU is gonna probably be decently stable. Dugong and Aerodactyl recently rose. I forgot about that one.
Oh.
When we did the UU viability rankings
Mm-hmm.
this August, I believe. Um, Aerodactyl rose up mainly because I think initially the idea was Aerodactyl and Electabuzz, Aerobuzz, and it was pretty successful. And then we started realizing this can hit decently hard, but it also compresses a way to check Tentacruel once it's being chipped, um, with a Doug Trio answer, and Doug Trio is really something. So it's like very important to be able to play around it, and that really is what made it rise. Dugong, the idea is Articuno is ridiculous, so no, just freeze immune. You can't even freeze hacks right through. It's like basically it's like flex tape. Okay. Oh no, my team is 5 Pokemon weak to Kuno. Slap on flex tape with the might of Zeus.
I see. That makes a lot of sense then. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was doing super great in UU now that Venusaur left, because its big thing was it's a water type that's really good against Venusaur, and which is really and can like Oko it, and also is uh, decent against other water types, but is worse against fires. But since water types are really good, answering that was really important, and also it wouldn't get frozen, and its blizzard hits really hard.
Right.
And but yeah, it rose somewhat unfortunately, but I mean there is definitely there's some reason for it.
I see. I like the rest play. That was nice. Oh, I'm looking a little scary. Luckily, I have the egg. No, the egg died.
It
You know what? That's okay.
It's an omelet. It has become an omelet now.
It did. It did. Egg was nice. Let's see. I can probably get around this still. Your Blastoise is asleep, so I can take advantage of that. And I can take advantage of the Arcanine too, a little bit. Do this. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, not too bad. Okay. Oh, sorry we weren't talking. I guess we were just too into the game.
I'm focusing. And also I'm reading like 5 chat rooms at once.
Well, do you have any more thoughts about NU though? Like, you know,
outside of being a generally open tier to build in, a lot of it, I think, it is going to be really seeing how defensive play develops, and that's the big thing I think is gonna be going on for the next bit. Is seeing how defensive play really sort of comes into its own, because once you have, because at least as of now, like a lot of it's built around offensive play, and there's a ton of offense. Well, okay, there's a ton of offense going on. Yes, obviously, low defensive play.
right.
But yeah, yes, obviously very smart. But like a lot of it really is focused around seeing is there ways to like play defensively against stuff that we just haven't seen.
Right. Okay.
Because if you have the room to take hits in some cases, it can really, it really can be big in my eyes.
Ooh, that's a tough crit. Sorry.
It happens.
Okay, the Kabutops. This should be interesting. Let's see. I can probably do this. What about the games for RBY PL? Have you watched any of the NU games yet?
I watched Shinigami's game and so far, and that's it.
Well, what'd you think about it? Like, give your thoughts about it.
My thoughts on it. I'd say
Oh,
I'd
that
say the
killed.
big thing is that Enigami kind of just like Moltres just won, like just straight up. Like Moltres just crit everything and just decided I'm okay. I'm going to win tonight. It's basically turned into Mario and decided I'm going to win the game, and it did.
Wow, just like that, huh?
It burned like everything with Fire Blast, just like first turn, just burn.
Jeez, man,
It
Moltres
was just
really is just something.
it it's a it's a mon that would be OU, but both OU and UU are bad
Right,
because
right.
it's like it's a fire type, and fire types are bad because it's like yay, ice does your job but better.
Basically, literally that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like not even like burning things don't even matter that much really, especially in OU.
In UU it can be very irritating. Aerodactyl can be like burns can be especially annoying in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially if like you burn like I don't know, Kangaskhan or Tentacruel or Dragonite, they hate burn. Um, and so it's not it's not that like Fire Blast is a bad type. It's more so like it's outclassed completely,
I see.
straight up. Ice Psychic there. God dang it.
I didn't have much of a switch, and I didn't want to let Mime go, so I made this play.
Please stop, Mr. Mime. Why are you, Mr. Mime? I know you want. I know you just got out of the hospital for breaking your leg, but please stop being paralyzed. Get out of your wheelchair and do something.
Muck is just about to go in at this point. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we take those.
All right. You know what? I didn't mean to do that. I should have went Mime, but it's fine. There you go. Um, it's fine.
I'm expecting goal in there.
I mean, Golem would have been the play, but like I didn't feel comfortable doing that yet. Let's see. It's fine. All right, come on, Muck. Eat this Fire Blast, please, please. Muck is interesting. I wish it lived, but it's interesting.
Muck is interesting. It's living toxic waste.
Now, like I think from like an offensive perspective, I like the idea of having another boom user. Honestly, I think
Oh
explosion.
yeah.
Like, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's explosion. It's definitely underused, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't been explored much. The main reason being that Golem's explosion and earthquake are already very strong,
Mm-hmm.
and Nidoking does a lot of what it does just better.
Right.
But it is definitely has potential. And now that psychic types aren't ubiquitous with like 3 of them on every team,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually run poison types without throwing the game. Unless their name is Gengar, in which case their goal is to wall Snorlax and do nothing else.
Pretty much. Um. This is a really interesting spot that we're in right now. You have 2 fire types that can still win, and I only have 1. And I still have my Golem, which can still pressure the other 2, but then, your Kabutops is still there. And I have Mime still, but that's still not going to be enough. And defensively, Kabutops can still take a Fire Blast, but again, you have 2 other fire types. So this is interesting for you.
Very interesting endgame. I see your goal was explosion spam for that team.
Yeah.
My question is though, like with Zard lead,
Mm-hmm.
it can kind of get dicey at points if like you miss and you like it gets paralyzed. Then it's kind of like what are your explosions doing? It's like you're blowing up to set up for something, but you kind of relies on never missing fire spin, which is works about as often as hypnosis does.
Hmm. Yeah, the chances of landing are still pretty shaky. Like that's
It's
69%.
70%.
Yeah. Well,
Eh.
it rounds for some
Well,
reason.
with 1 out of 256, yeah.
Yeah. Um. But no, I can agree with you about the Zard lead. I think Zard lead's interesting, but I think it's
It's
better as a
used because you
sweeper.
don't like Venomoth, and you're not running Fire Spam.
Yeah, exactly. Um.
Because Venomoth is really annoying.
Actually, Venomoth would have destroyed this team if this wasn't the lead anyway. So Zard still works in
Yeah,
my favor because of that. But outside that, like again,
yeah,
the Arcanine lead just is very dicey for me. But managed to get around it barely, but still, um, or fairly well with
yeah,
Blastoise plus Golem. But even still, that can be a little shaky. Um,
yeah.
But yeah, like I do think Explosion has usage though. Like I like the idea of running, boom offense teams. Like I really wish I could see games with that, Like I want to see games like that with boom offense being ran. With like, I don't know, an end game Charizard or like an end game Moltres.
We're back gonna go and say that for RBYPL. Gonna go tell Annie that.
All right, I hope they use it. Okay. It's fine. Ugh. Even a crit doesn't matter. Or even yeah, even the crit isn't that great. Um
Flash always crits.
yeah. I'm trying to put you in the range for Slash, but again, with you pivoting between Kabutops and such is definitely not easy for me. Um okay. Let's see. No. Oh, we lived. That's cool. That's cool. All right. All right, that's fine. That's what I needed. Now we can do this. All right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry,
It happens. It's fine.
bro. Are you sure this keeps happening every time? All right. All right.
I
That's the
mean, that's
game.
kind of like yeah. 1 to 256 odds, please. Yeah,
Oh.
no, never mind. Nope. Does it happen?
GG's.
Yeah.
All right. Um. I know we already mentioned about fire spin, but what about any rap users that you've tried so far in NU?
The only one I think that's left is like Dratini and Dragonair.
What about Tentacool?
Oh yeah, Tentacool exists. Yeah, I didn't even remember that existed. It's Tentacruel, but bad. Except the reason Tentacruel exists is because it's good.
Right. Right.
The big issue I have with it,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say is because it doesn't have, um, the much well, what's the word for it? Like it doesn't
Speed.
have like the ton of utility, I'd
Uh.
say, like outside of rap, and it's like okay, dragon typing's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was talking about Dragonair, but I'm being weak to Blizzard sucks,
Mm-hmm.
and on Tentacool, the problem is it's outclassed by Blastoise in many ways.
Right. Right.
It's a little Cupmon. Like, what did you expect it to do? Okay, but then again, Abra's actually kind of good.
Yeah. And I like Abra a lot. Abra's fun. Very good, like, backup mime with mime. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tentacle could have some usage, but maybe you'd want to pair it on like some kind of Paris band team. It would probably work better on that since it's so
Yeah, but
slow.
like you have like 2 mons with Thunder Wave,
Yeah, that's true.
and like maybe you have Egg, maybe you try and use Porygon.
But even then, like Porygon plus Tentacle, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
And
this mon has something though. You could probably do something with it.
yeah, definitely.
Like that's
The
what I.
tier's very much open. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have it. People aren't running much like Firo, which definitely has potential. Eradicate, which is very dangerous. So it's basically it's like Doug Firo in a sense that like it either gets an Oko or it gets Oko basically.
Oh, I
Um,
remember. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to cut you off again.
no, it's fine.
I was saying that I remember when I was playing my tour game or that tour game like a while back for NU, and I fought this guy that was actually using Eradicate, and I think it was running like Super Fang, which is their
Yeah,
the
Super
like.
Fang is
Hmm.
it's basically does 50% of their health, so
Right.
it's very dangerous. That plus Hyper Beam is very good. Thing is though, it's not base 100, so it does hit out speeds hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's now
Yeah,
speed, Zard and such. But I think it's
Zard
still
is so fast, it's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. That base 100 speed's really good. Um,
Yeah.
let's see how to get around this. Well, that's okay. Para? Hey. All right. Let's do this. Okay. All right. The Pori. Okay. Pori's interesting. Let's see.
It is Thunderbolt, by the way, or it learns it.
Yeah, I mean I know that. I'm just trying to like figure out if I want to stay in or just switch. I think I want to keep this bond. Um, this is fine. All right, that's okay. Oh no. Let's see. This is fine. Hmm. Oh, that was a good play. Think oh. Oh, you're going for game. I see. Um let's see. Hmm. Are there any more Pokemon that you think, like any more like mons you've been testing out recently?
Um, I've been trying out like it's sort of like Porygon and stuff. I've been trying out stuff like Firo. I think that has potential. Uh, I think it's like it can like it is like yes you have Blastoise and Golem, but
Mm-hmm.
once it like it's very difficult to stop because it's very fast and it hits really hard.
Okay.
And so
Mm-hmm.
like you really can't take too many hits from it very well.
See.
And so it's definitely very like it has potential, I'd say. I think that's the best way of putting it.
I mean, I remember that you passed me a team with it before, and I do like it. It's pretty good once you get rid of the Golem. Once you get rid of Golem, then Firo just kind of sweeps everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a healthy Moltres can still beat it.
Right.
but it's very good at cleaning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's really rare. And also, a stab hyper beam is kind of insane.
Oh yeah,
You do
agreed.
not realize how good stab hyper beam is until you're like, oh yeah, we don't have any like giant normal sponges. Like, wow, this is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, truly. Like, yeah, that's another thing I noticed. Like, again, there's only a couple walls here in NU. Or yeah, only a couple, like a handful of walls you can really use in NU. But once they're gone, these offensive teams just kind of go crazy. Um,
Yeah.
okay, that's alright. Alright, cool. Hello there. Hmm. Man, that Kingler, man. That Kingler hella dangerous right now. Alright. It's alright. Hmm. Okay. Come on, Moltres. There we go. Alright, and now... That's alright.
Yes, ASMR.
Alright, come on. Come on, 9. Give me something. Not enough. Alright. It's fine. Alright, cool. This is fine. Okay. Alright. I really wish Mime had recovery. This thing would actually be a little bit better here. Alright, come on, Molt. There we go. Alright, there we go.
Nude.
Alright, come on, Molt. Alright, that's fine. You can take Blastoise. Alright.
I thought the wave got dang it.
Oh.
And happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's the tier you play. Kind of can't do much. But
don't really need the Molt at this point, so this should be a wrap depending on if you depending on what those last couple moves are.
I mean, Zard kind of, depending on if it feels like it on the day, it can just win games.
Right. Still fine. That's that.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's all right though.
Yeah.
It's all right. This
Yeah.
was a pretty fun game though. I enjoyed these games a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to do another one?
Sure, I'm fine. I'm out for some more.
Okay.
I play this tier probably way too much.
All right, let's get it. Let's see. What team do I feel like using now? Let's go with this one. All right, here we go. Game number 4. Let's see what we got.
Oops, misclicked the team. Yeah, that was wrong. It was like an old Raichu team that that I had somewhere in my builder.
Oh wait, I just noticed something. Could you actually use Pikachu here? Like, I know that's just funny. Okay.
Yeah, you could. It's just like, why would you use it when Electrode exists?
I know it's like a bad mon, but I was just
Oh,
curious
yeah.
about it.
You could probably use it. The tier is so underdeveloped, maybe it ends up ruling the tier. Ash would finally be vindicated. His faith in Pikachu was worth it all along.
Yeah, that would be something. That would be. I don't know why I thought Pikachu would actually be viable, but I guess maybe I thought about Raichu.
Surf, so that's kind of good.
Wait, hold on. It actually did keep Surf? I thought it only had it from GSC.
Pretty sure it has Surf still.
Wait, really? Hold on. I'm actually okay. Now you've got me curious. That thing actually keeps
Pikachu
Surf.
has Surf. Pikachu has Surf, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, and Seismic Toss. I think it got it in Pokemon Yellow, because it was surfing in the intro.
Yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, it was from the Yellow event. Well, you had to get the Yellow event through Stadium, though.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of like vaguely on a cordial relationship. I'm pretty sure recently there was a state. When was the last team tour? But yeah, there's been a bunch of other tours that are actually going on for not just NU. For stadiums being sort of starting to be explored. I just won a trade backs tour, which was fun. And so even if you're want to branch out, if for other people going into this, there's tons of other places to actually play. It's not like NU is being developed and it's very open, but if you want to try something else, there's tons.
Yeah, there's many.
Having a lower tier revamp or just like non-OU revamp, I'd say.
Not only is there like trade backs, but there's also like on Pokemon Perfect. I think they have their own thing too with like different tiers for the less used mons. Like I think they have like a tier called like 1U and like some other stuff like that. So
1U is OU basically.
Right.
Nowadays it's not the biggest. There's not a really super big like hub. It used to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you ended up with some very interesting tiers given how quickly they tiered them. Because I think it was only a couple players playing it, and the fewer players that are playing a tier, the more stuff slips through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up with like Kabutops being in like all the way at the bottom. We ended up with tiers like I believe 5U, at least based on the tiering system, was literally just a Agilirap the tier. Who's a Ghastly versus Dragonair. Who will win?
Jeez.
It was the entire tier. Basically, your Seadra tries to win the Ditto, and then your goal is to try and force Ghastly to faint. If Ghastly faints, you set up a Agilirap and win the game.
Wow.
That literally was the tier.
It's kind of like a rock paper scissors kind of situation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think now the tiers that are currently being developed. Because there's more players playing them, it's a lot less stuff sort of falls through the cracks like that. And so not stuff like Cedar, but like stuff like Dragonair, for example, that would be exploited differently. And so like I think that the fact that it's being taken slower and that it's not going as quickly is very important.
I see. So it's still like in the development stages. Then it seems like.
NU's like fairly well developed.
No, not NU. I was talking about for the tiers in Pokemon Perfect.
Well, they were developed, but the thing is, though, it was done fairly quickly, and it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
done with a super large pool of people playtesting.
Oh,
Uh,
right. Okay.
and so stuff flipped through the cracks. So they've been developed, but they were done uh very quickly,
Mhm.
and so you don't have, and so stuff missed. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I wish it could be like more developed because I actually would try to get into that just to see
Yeah.
what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Granted, there is one constant, and that is Hitmonchan will never be viable.
Oh, right, of course.
That is the like there's like this. I'm pretty sure there's like this replay of like what's of like a Nidoran F like winning a 1v1 versus Hitmonchan,
Oh,
and it's
that's
just become like the Gen 1 server's like mascot because it's a great meme. Oh god.
okay. So
It's
free.
just like basically if you say Hitmonchan bad, everyone will agree.
Okay,
Like it's like a meme where it's like so I think Volk like said there's Volk's law, every conversation about competitive RBY will turn towards mutual outspoken derision of Hitmonchan and how bad it is.
like
Like, and
okay.
it still holds. It's hilarious.
Okay, let me okay, let's actually look at Hitmonchan's like move pool so you guys can actually understand how bad this one is. Like actually no, let's look at
It
Hitmonlee
is.
first. Let's look at Lee first. Lee actually
Lee
has
is
fighting
actually like
coverage.
actually functions. Like
Right,
it's got high jump kick, but like high jump kicks like actually semi decent, and its attack set semi decent.
right.
Hitmonchan has like, oh, you have more balanced stats, but you're still getting outcode most of the time. So, and oh, it has the elemental punches with base 35 special.
This poor
So
Mon.
bad.
This poor
It
Mon.
is like
It's so sad. It's so sad.
it's somewhat comedic. It's so bad that basically every fully evolved Pokemon can have more utility than Hitmonchan.
You said
Even
Nidoran beat it
Farfetch'd is
though.
better because it has Slash and Swords Dance with I think with Hyper Beam. Like Farfetch'd is better.
Oh
Think
man.
about that.
Oh my goodness. Poor Mon. You said a Nidoran
It
beat
it it,
this.
it's like yeah, near an F beat it like it's hilarious.
That's so sad. That's so sad, man. Oh my goodness. Anyways, back to the game.
Yeah, before I just start dying of laughter because of how bad.
It's so sad. That Mon just. At least they give a redemption like years later, but still. Ugh. Why did they do this Mon so dirty in
It's the
Gen
server
1?
mascot, so at least that's got it going for it.
Hey, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, because you're so bad that you're good.
Oh my gosh. Alright,
Anyways,
yeah, I
before the
get.
video turns into an hour-long video
I
of
think
us
it's already
making fun of
past that.
Hitmonchan, let's continue.
It's already past
Oh yeah?
that. Yeah.
Before it turns into a BKC podcast about Hitmonchan being.
Okay, let's get through the
Anyways,
game then.
let's play.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna do this. Okay, that kinda worked. That's okay. I can take that. Okay. It's fine. I like that double. That was a really good double. I don't like that though. But this is okay. I can take that. This is fine. This is not okay. This is not okay. Now this is okay.
That's kind of just walls us.
Right. But I just want damage on. Yeah, they do nothing. Okay, never mind. This is fine though. Just the chip is still good. If it can land, of course. Come on, Poliwhirl. There you go. That's way better. Okay. Alright. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. I think I messed up with Poliwhirl, you know, letting that. Well, the T Wave didn't matter too much. I think it really was just, you know, the setting up with it. No, the T Wave still mattered. I think I just didn't. Definitely shouldn't have let that get T Waved.
Poliwhirl's job is to sleep something and then try and kill something else, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I got the sleep off, but it was at the cost of T Wave, so I don't really like making that trait like that.
Mime's valuable enough that you can sort of try justifying it.
Mm-hmm. Alright. That's okay. Still, ooh. Yeah, it's tough. That's fine though. No.
Oh, so it's fine for me.
Okay. Alright, there we go. Ah, the Furo.
The majestic herb.
Yep, the bird. Best bird.
Moltres would like to know your location.
Remember when I used that Pidgeot team against you one time, and you told me it was bad?
Oh yeah, what ended up happening was Moltres just decided I'm currently in a wheelchair and I will not move.
Yo.
And just got and somehow Pidgeot was able to just like it was able to beat Moltres. It happens.
Pidgeot's funny, man. That one is hilarious. I wish it was better.
Yep.
Anyways, let's go. I respect it. I respect that. Well, if I don't want to lose to Charizard, or Furo. This is fine. This is fine. Let's do. It's fine. And then we do this, and then we do that. Okay. Alright, dope. Okay. This is gonna be real close.
So yeah, I'm just gonna get something quickly.
Alright. So yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying this vid with me and Shells. Shellnuts. This has been really, this has been a really fun session with him. Again, I just like hearing his insight.
I just had to talk to someone.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I was just talking to someone quickly. Yeah.
Oh. So wait, you're back now?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, that was quick. Now I was saying to the audience out there that again, I hope you guys have been enjoying this session with me and Shellnuts. Again, it's been really fun hearing your insight about RBY and about RBY lower tiers. Oh yeah, I guess going a little bit off topic. I wanted to know a little bit more about the trade back metagame, because I know that some Pokemon get move pools or get
Hypno gets Amnesia,
right,
and Snorlax gets Lovely Kiss.
Right.
Persian gets also like Hypnos version and Gengar are better because Hypnosis and Ice Punch respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the big people are very much so excited about Hypno. My thoughts are it's a giant momentum sink and just like run offense, just run Persian and Snorlax and Tauros and Rhydon, and you just kind of floor stuff.
Right.
And so it's like, uh, sort of like, why is this being used?
I
Makes
see.
sense.
Um.
It-
All right. No. Actually, there we go. All right. A. There we go. Okay, we got a little bit of damage. That's not enough damage. um. Hmm. Crit. Ah. It's okay. Hmm. So I can go off the speeds high, or hmm. There's a high chance you might get this one, Shellnuts. You might get this one if you win the speeds high. Oh,
It happens.
you're right. I think you still win anyway. If I break out and you miss. Ah. Well. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This one. Oh, that was a crit. Nice. All right. The moment of truth. Charizard versus Blastoise. It's like the whole
Well,
red versus blue situation.
yeah. Except it's just like Willzard hit.
Well, it did land. Has to land another one, or put me in the slash range, which I think that's slash range.
Just barely out of it.
Just barely.
Like
GG's, man.
one more hit. Yeah, GG's. If you've been talking for an hour, probably longer.
No,
Yeah.
bro, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
like when I have my talk with Eden,
Yeah.
even with Cherry, and even with
Yeah.
Dio. Like it's the same thing. You're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
um, any last words?
Tiers. I'd really recommend trying it out. For people looking into it, this tier is very open to building. You can try it. You can absolutely like take most team styles. You can just play and you can build something that you enjoy. It's very open. You can explore. For anyone who's coming in from a later generation, it's probably the closest that you can get to building in those tiers, I'd say.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. About like the newer gym players. Like I think they'd actually enjoy playing NU way more than they'd enjoy playing OU. For RBY OU, I mean, if they want to get into it, like I think this is definitely a good start for them right here. They get
Yep.
to like experience, these lower tier mons first, and then they get to see what's up in the higher tiers as they rise up and get more curious about it. So I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because it kind of has the same pacing of like for
As
the current gens too.
yeah.
Um,
It's the most new gen old RBY tier there is.
Yeah, that's a really good way of saying that. Um, Again, I did promise you guys that we will be doing a UU vid, so I promise I will upload a UU vid with Shellnuts sometime during the
Where I'll be
week.
talking for 5 hours about Tentacruel.
Yes, he will be talking for a long time about Tentacle and why it's so good. So be
And
on the
writing
lookout
a
for.
next new analysis. And
Right. Also, again, Shellnuts writes analysis for the art for RBY as well. So if you ever look at an analysis and you see Shellnuts and you see a Shellnuts name, just know he was the one that was in this video and talking right now. So this is the encyclopedia for RBY.
mm, that probably seems like a good spot to call it, I'd say.
Yeah. All right. So that's that. Be safe, wash your hands, and I will see you in the next Pokemon RBY friendlies. Again, we'll be doing the UU vid sometime later in the week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, subscribe if you're new to the channel. On my way to reaching 450 subs. So let's get there by the end of the month. And yeah, again, Shellnuts, thank you for recording with me. It was a lot of fun, and can't wait to do UU with you.
Yeah. Yeah, or I get to. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna leave you hanging for this long. All right,
Don't
I'll
worry.
see you guys in the next one. Take care, be safe, wash your hands, and peace out.